All right, guys. I am coming in hot today. All right. Speaking of hot, mm, very hot. All right, I am coming in hot today. All right, so I do not know if I'm in the wrong, I'm in the right, or if I'm in the wrong. So people in the comments, you let me down. You let me know down below. I'm coming in hot. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss. All right. So here in Dallas, Fort Worth, in the Metroplex, lately, a lot of people, and everybody's guilty of this, when you're driving and you're turning off of your road onto the main road, people tend to not stop behind the line on the road that they're turning out of. A lot of people like their hood will be poking out from that line into the main road or into the intersection. It's fine. Everybody does that. Everybody's guilty of that, right? So here I am driving home tonight, and this guy is doing it, but it's not the hood of his car, it's his entire car. His entire car is in front of the line. So like here is the line of where he's supposed to stop, and his entire car is right here. Right? It's like, hold on if I can get better. His entire car is like right there. Out into the intersection. So he's blocking half the lane. So I pull up, trying to go, the light's green, I'm trying to get home, and so I can do the pod. And he's in the intersection, so I stop because obviously I can't get by. He's in the road, and he's sort of just sitting there and behind the wheel, like looking off into space like this. So I give him a little wake up honk, like wake up, and he looks over at me. So now he's doing this, but he's doing that like looking at me, like, ooh. And I'm like, dude, can you either turn, like make the turn and go, or back up, because there's like a football field behind him that you could back up in, of room in the road behind him. And then he just sort of stares at me like, well, what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, like either turn or back up. And he sort of looks at me, and he keeps looking at me, and then I'm looking at him, and then eventually he just starts backing up, and then I drive off, and then the rest of the ride into the studio, I was like, was I in the wrong? Should I not have? Was that rude? Should I not have honked and been like, dude, wake up? Or are we both in the wrong? I think we might both, I don't know. We might both be in the wrong, because he shouldn't have been parked in front of the line in the middle of the busy intersection. But it's also, I know a lot of you probably think, well, why don't you just get in the other lane and drive around him? In the Metroplex, you can't do that because you got like 500 cars flying by in the lane next to you. So I don't know. I think we might both be in the wrong. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you think. But I can tell you what I'm definitely not wrong about. Flying spiders. Welcome to SpiderCast, a Spider Queen watch-along podcast. Today we're discussing Mycen the Icyian spider. When the forecast calls for a sunny Christmas Eve, Spider Santa has no choice but to cancel Christmas. But wait, can Mycen save the day? We're talking Season 1, Special Number 2, Mycen the Icyian spider. Hello and welcome to the SpiderCast Holiday Special, Part 2, Mycen the Icyian spider. Now let's get on to one of my favorite, I don't know if I should say my favorite, but one of the most fun segments of the podcast, Today in History. And I know I've stolen this from several other podcasts and radio shows. A lot of people do it, but it's fun, so let's do it. Let's talk about Today in History. Mycen the Icyian spider came out December 22nd, 2021. So, good year. 2021. Things were, I don't know. I was in college. I don't remember much in 2021. Let's get into it. All right, what happened today? All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey topped the U.S. music charts, and Merry Christmas by Ed Sheeran and Elton John topped the British music charts. What else happened? President Joe Biden says government will distribute 500 million home COVID tests. Wow, 500 million. That is a lot of home COVID tests. But what a great thing. COVID tests are very expensive. So 500 million COVID tests. Trump ally Michael Flynn sues January 6th committee. Wow, January 6th. that was another one of those wow doozy things that happened in our history in the last 4 years. It's crazy. What else happened? Oh, Walter Reed, military scientist, tests vaccine that could protect against the Omicron variant. This was also in the Omicron. I guess Omicron was just coming out. And on better news, more happy news that isn't COVID related, Kellogg workers approved contract ending an 11-week strike. The contract will gave workers immediately wage increases and cost of living adjustments, which is awesome for them. So some fun stuff. Also, the southern U.S., it was said that the southern United States could see a record warm Christmas. And here in Dallas, I guess the record was 80 degrees. And that was on in 2016. And they were thinking that it could get up to that hot on December 22nd, 2026. Also on 2021, not 2026. Also December 22nd, 2021, I passed my animation and special effects college course. I don't know. I might have, I might not have, but it was right around this time and I turned this in as my project. So, wow, my lighting is just downright awful. Okay, that's so much better. All right, today we're going to talk about Mycen the Icyian spider. Such a fun little special. Now joining me today, we have a very special guest to discuss this very special holiday special. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you August Thornton.
You are so naive, my dear. Poison Spear! Special move! Confuse me!
Confuse what now?
And now, it's over! Don't take all the cuties up there! Save some for me.
Welcome to officially to the SpiderCast, the Spider Podcast. August Thornton.
Hello, everybody.
How are you today?
Happy
August.
holidays.
Happy holiday. August is our one and only, our favorite hermit, the Spider Hermit. Looking mighty fine today. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Brooks. It's great to be here. It's such an honor.
Dude, I'm so happy we were able to
I know. I turned down Stephen Colbert and James Corden just because no one likes James Corden, and I came here. This was the better option.
Well, I was emailing with Stephen Colbert. We were fighting over you for a while, but I'm glad that you picked
I'm gonna go on his show probably for like a New Year's bit. Who knows?
I'm glad you picked me over Colbert for this special day. When you see him, give him my warm welcomes.
Wait, I'm gonna choose my Tourette's brother from another mother. I don't know if Stephen Colbert has that.
Oh,
we're just two like weird white Catholics, but that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's I'm so glad it's been so long since we've talked to each other. Since you moved, I think.
Yeah, and since you moved,
ago?
I mean, yeah, no, it's been about a year and like counting now, a year and 6 days since I've been
from when we were in the old port. When we were together at your farewell party in the old port.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did.
I think that was the last time I saw you. Man, that was so long ago. So August, before we get into what we're gonna do today, which is sort of watch Mycen the Icyian spider. I got my coffee. I got my gravity is on my side. My Icyian spider reindeer.
Are those the
cookies.
Pillsbury Doughboy cookies?
Yeah.
Which ones are those?
They're the reindeer for the
okay.
Tis the season for our.
I didn't even really know. I know. So I love those. I love those cookies so much.
Oh,
but the thing is that everyone now, like once the holidays come out, everyone knows like when they're going to be in stock. I went to go to my local grocery store a couple days ago to get some. Completely gone.
Joy of living in Dallas. If the Walmart where you are doesn't have what you need, drive 5 minutes to the next Walmart and they'll have what you need.
Well, you know what always has everything that we need? Mm-hmm. And that's the Waffle House.
I love Waffle House.
I do too. We both got to experience it.
I live like right next to one. We need to get some up north.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen because we have IHOP, which I'd hate to say it, Waffle House is 10 times better than IHOP. Sorry, everybody from up north, but Waffle House is far superior. You go there to get like basic black coffee, some really greasy hash browns, and really like overrated waffles, but you also get to watch like a fight happening in the
Where
parking
the
lot.
strongest people gather.
Yeah, exactly. And you get to see your server with like a couple missing teeth and maybe some neck tattoos who clearly was in and out of prison, but we don't need to know about like what they were in prison for.
These cookies taste like they were on the grill of my oven, and they weren't. They just taste. I need to clean my oven, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no! And Waffle House, the coffee is so good, like oddly good.
Oh, Waffle House coffee is amazing.
It's so delicious. Anyway, August, tell us a little bit about yourself, so the people of the world know. Let's say like who you are, where you went to school. I know that they don't. You don't have to say that. What got you into acting,
Okay.
and then what are you doing now? Because I think what you're doing now is really cool. Like really, really
Wow,
cool.
no. Haven't been asked this in a while. This is exciting. This is exciting, Brooks. Yeah, so to the 5 people watching are 25 now. Just kidding, just kidding. To whoever's watching this. Yeah, so a little about myself. That's always a hard way for me to start
Who
this.
are you? Who are you?
Yeah, I'm August William Thornton, born and raised in Maine for almost all of my life. I've always really been drawn to the arts. Like ever since I was a little kid, I was really into pretend playing, like always using my toys, costumes, like dressing up, playing out in the backyard, just being like very imaginative. And I think for a while that was something that I didn't really know could be done as being an actor. And as I got older, you know, I kind of explored getting into theater a little bit, doing like plays and whatnot. But it wasn't until I think I was 13 or 14 years, yeah, 13, when I played Cat in the Hat and Seussical
You
Jr.
were Cat in the
Uh,
Hat.
yeah,
I can
wait, weren't you
totally
in that
see
show too?
it. I wasn't in Seussical Jr. I was in Seussified Christmas Carol.
Oh, okay. I don't even know
But
what
I
that
can
is.
totally see you. It's just Dr. Seuss's Christmas Carol, but I can totally see you
Oh,
as Cat in the Hat.
yeah, it was, and that's kind of like where even like my parents saw that I was like, oh, he actually has like he has potential. Like this is something that he really is like serious about. They didn't even really know that I was like
Mhm.
that that I guess I could actually do that. So when they saw that, they were very encouraging on that. Yeah, went from there. When I was in middle school and high school, did the one act competitions,
I
musicals,
wonder if we were ever
plays,
at the one
and
acts
whatnot.
together and just didn't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. No, we never knew that our paths crossed at that point.
I
We
wonder if
probably like
we
walk each other in passing.
we probably totally were. We probably were competing against each other and had no idea.
At some point, yeah. At some point, yeah. Um, and then I went in, yeah. So I went into college after, majored in theater. Did a few performances there. That's how I met. Well, no, how I met
USA.
you was through.
We
I,
met.
I met you through summer camp, working at Camp Center Stage,
I
and
rem-
then
I remember I could interject. I remember we that first night, and we were just sort of bonding and hanging out. And then I remember after the camp had ended, I was supposed to go to USM, but I went to New York. And then you like texted me one day, and you were like, "Hey, where are you? Your name's being called on the on the attendance sheet. Are you
oh
like
yeah,
you're gonna
that's
be late?
right.
You're gonna be late for class. Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm in New York."
Oh my God, I totally remember that. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and then I remember like like maybe a couple weeks later, you messaged me and you're like, I hate it here.
Yeah.
But hey, you did get to go see where Joaquin Phoenix when he played his Joker, where he got to dance on those steps,
I
and I'm still
did.
like very
I did
envious of
get
you
to
for
go to
doing
the
it.
I did get to go to the Joker stairs, and I saw some very interesting things happening on the subway on my way to the Joker stairs.
I bet you did. I bet you
I
did. You went to an interesting part of New York.
I I
Um,
I went through a lot of interesting parts of New York.
I know you did. All right, so where were we? Yeah,
You,
so
who
you and
are
I
you?
met working at summer camp, and then after that, you and I kind of crossed paths again when we were at USM Department of Theater. Shout out to all the people at USM Theater right
Yeah.
now, still kicking it up over
Go
there.
Huskies.
I don't really know who's there. I know Garrett Lynn's there. Um,
Yeah. I don't know how many more people are left from when we were there.
yeah, I don't know, but
Oh, I know a bunch of
whoever's still
people.
there
Or actually,
that
I
knows
lied.
me.
I know a bunch of people that are there that I still very deeply love and care about. I do remember now.
Okay, good. Well,
I always, well,
if you
it's
love
not
them,
that I
I still
never
love them.
remembered. I said I always remember them, and they're in a very. Okay, keep going. I'll
they're
cut that
they're
part.
not in your heart. You're in his cholesterol right now.
You're in my cholesterol.
Um, yeah. So once I graduated college, that's like when I really kind of had to create my own path. It's a lot different from like being in theater in a school setting to like in the real world. It's hard, and I'm not talking about community theater. I'm talking about like
Professional.
paving your own way in a not to say community theater is a professional, but this is like an independent professional actor.
Yes,
You have
absolutely.
to you have to pave your own way. So At first, I was at the Lewiston Public Theater, um, and I was the assistant stage manager there for about 6 to 7 months, maybe. Yeah, about around there, 6 to 7 months. And I was just, as great as it was to network with people, I wasn't really feeling like I was gonna expand so much because at first I thought, oh, maybe I can just stay in Maine or New England and like do some of this work like acting. But I was realizing just like with what I wanted to do, I couldn't get that here. So I went on a Playbill, which is yes, it's a
Hmm.
online program for young artists like you and I who are trying to like I said, pave their way. And I found a gig out in Idaho at a theme park, and I thought of all places, Idaho. Like, what's there besides potatoes and uh crazy killer that killed people who is now probably going to get the death penalty. I
Yeah.
don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I actually the girl that I was seeing in Idaho
Crazy
for a little
killer. Yeah, that's funny.
there was a girl that I was seeing in Idaho for a little bit. She went to school with one of the victims, which I thought was like the weirdest thing.
Really? Yeah.
It's like it happened in like 4 hours away from where we were, but it's like almost everyone in Idaho knows each other. Like we thought that about Maine, everyone in Idaho knows each other.
Oh yeah. Everyone in
Um
Maine knows each other some way, in some sort of way.
yeah. Um but yeah. So I was at an amusement park and I performed there. And then after that, I had a month off, and then I landed where I am right now, and that's here in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, land of Dolly Parton, where I am performing at the Great Smoky Mountain Murder Mystery Dinner Show. Try saying that 5 times, you'll lose your breath. Trust me.
I already
Um,
forgot it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. Like, I've been here for about a little over a year now, and I'm going to be here until the end of September. I've had a really good time. It's a lot of sketch comedy. Think of it as like SNL. You're doing this. You're doing a lot of on the go ad-libbing, improv, stand up, and you have to make sure that like that's always consistent because
Oh
like
yeah.
what we're known for is like you might think most murder mysteries, which are most murder mysteries, can be serious or are a bit more interactive, but ours are interactive but in a humorous way. Like we bring out the murder mystery comedy and we get a really good rep. People from all over the world and like all over the country come to see us. Like it's a huge vacation spot, and it's just it's a landmark for people, and we get a lot of new people, a lot of regulars. And I'm honored to be a part of it because you really do get to experiment with your craft, and especially as you and I both know, you and I we like to think that we're funny. We just laugh at ourselves because we probably feel sorry for ourselves.
I don't know. I'll interject. I never used to break on stage ever. I was one of those people that just couldn't break. I was
Mhm.
always in the moment. Then I started acting with you on stage in Clue.
Yep.
And it was at the what is it, like the very end of Clue
Oh,
when it was
yes, it was
the who
where
done it scene
yes, it was with Noli French.
as Miss White.
I love you, Noli. Um,
She
and
did the
yeah,
was
it
she's
was
the
Mrs. White. Yeah, that's right. She did that whole like faint, and I remember I could not keep a straight face. I literally was like biting my lips, and I'm like, no one sees this, right? And like no one's looking at me. I hope not. And I look over at you, and I see you go from being like all standing up straight to then
Yeah, I was trying
going
so
all hunched back. Could not stop crying. Like that she probably did the funniest thing
it was so funny
that I'd ever seen.
every
Yeah,
night. Oh my gosh, it
it
was so
was.
I couldn't look at you.
I couldn't look at you either because I knew like we're gonna start
Oh
laughing. I
my
had to look
gosh.
away. Like I literally had to look away. I'm like, look at the floor. Like look at the floor
Mm.
when that happens.
You know, the only other person that's ever made me break on stage is Will McPherson. I don't know what it's about you, Wills, but in Thanksgiving play, I couldn't look at him. Like I was literally laughing and I had a line. I was trying to say when you're trying to say your line but you're laughing.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, it happens a lot
it's
here
the
at the
worst.
Murder Mystery Dinner Show.
Oh,
It
I
happens a lot
never
here, but that's
break.
kind of the fun thing is like you do get to break character. Like not like you don't want to do it to the point where
Mm.
it's extremely noticeable. But if you kind of like chuckle off to the side, or if you laugh like for a quick second, it works really well with the environment. Like I said, it's a lot like SNL. Like when you saw like Kristen Wiig or like Bill Hader, or
Oh,
like
and they
Jimmy
break
Fallon
is so
breaking.
funny.
Yeah, like when they broke on stage, like when they were on SNL, like the audience laughed at it even more, and that's like what we do.
And that's the
But
fun
yeah,
part. Because when
that's
you
where I
see
am right
other
now. Got currently a couple of short film projects, hopefully that are gonna be launched in the wintertime. Can't say a whole lot about that, but as of
exciting
right
stuff.
now, Yeah, getting experimenting again with some film work, which I'm really excited for, working with a couple of good friends of mine. So yeah. Anyway,
A
that's
working
where I'm at,
actor, everybody.
trying to get
Working
by,
actor.
getting by.
Getting by every day. So, do you remember at all filming this? Not filming
I
this, recording this.
did I film this at your house or did I do this?
So when we did, there was one before this, which is before we even started really working on the project, where I had you play like Spider Hermit at like 120 years old or something. And we
Oh
did it
yeah,
over
that's
Zoom because
right.
it was like in the middle of the pandemic. And you were just like singing Christmas carols and doing really bad Christmas puns the whole time.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yes, I remember that. And everyone was really confused watching it because they were like, "Wait, I thought your character was supposed to be this old or something like that."
Yeah. And then this one, so we did this right before we started doing your episodes for Spider Queen. So it was
Hmm.
like right before you came in because I think there's like a cameo at the end where you're like, "Hey, catch me in the new episodes coming out soon." So I think you definitely did this in house, probably. I would assume that we did. It sounds like
So
you
this
were
would have been
there.
my senior year. This would have been my senior year of college.
Yeah, this would have been like right after She Kills Monsters is when we would have done this.
Okay,
Like
so yeah, this was around like November time.
probably right around November because I turned it in for my final assignment in my After Effects and animation class.
Oh,
Because
okay.
the
All right, so
very
that's why you
beginning
had it.
scene in this is green screen, and that counted for the After Effects animation credit. It might not have been like this exact project, but there was a variation of it where there was like a animated intro that went into it that I don't
Right.
think I ended up using for the actual project for this specific project, but the whole it all came together because of this one class. So let's pull it up. Let's just sit back, watch, enjoy it. We can laugh about it. We can discuss it.
We can
Um,
cringe. We can do whatever we want. I'm so excited.
I just remember when we did this, I gave you, Ian, and Bella, who played Spider Queen, all the same note of just have fun and do what you want. And then you guys just gave all of the different reindeer spiders just the funniest character traits. So let's
Mm.
start. Let me share my screen.
I'm walking into this cold, man. I literally like I forgot what I did. So this is almost gonna be like me watching it for the first time. I know I saw it and I listened to it
Mhm.
when it first came out, but that was the last time.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen it. So this came out December 22nd, 2021. So it would have been like right at the end of that semester. So let's full screen it. Is it work? Okay, looks like it's still recording. I'll try not to pause. I like to pause a lot, but we'll try not to pause. I'm gonna
I know
cringe. I know I'm gonna
we can
cringe.
get off topic real quick.
This is like the cringiest part. This is my least favorite part of the whole video. This is the assignment. USM green screen studio right here.
What do you wait? I can't hear you. What are you saying? There's no audio.
Can you not hear the audio?
I can't. Wait, can you?
Can you hear it now?
No. Well, I
Hold
guess I
on.
gotta interpret this the way.
Let's see. Let's see. Is there a way when you're sharing your screen? You know, you think after all of this time,
Yeah, learning how to use Zoom that we would know
share
better.
computer sound. Here we go.
Been naughty or nice,
You hear it now?
so you better get
Yep.
to sleep.
All right.
All right. You want me to tell you a story?
I put all those trees
Well,
and the
Well,
I
sign.
that-
suppose I have time to tell one. Let's see
Look at
here.
how poor
Okay, sit
it
back,
rendered,
relax,
poorly it
grab
rendered.
your hot cocoa and marshmallows and whipped cream, and get ready for a story. A
So
story unlike any other Christmas story you have ever heard before.
The render quality is so bad.
Brooks, I want to ask, who's your target audience in this?
I don't know. In this specific one was just supposed to be family fun.
Okay,
The actual show, I try to go for TV 14. A TV like if it was to be on TV, I would go for a TV 14 rating.
this is definitely something I could see on maybe like Boomerang.
This is something I could see at Adult Swim at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I was gonna say yeah because you get like when Adult Swim like once it like airs right after Cartoon Network is done, you'll see like a list of the programs of like what Adult Swim's gonna be airing that night, and you'll see like King of the Hill, you'll see Rick and Morty, you'll see Family Guy, American Dad, and then after that at the way bottom, like after Aqua Teen Hunger Force, it's
Yeah.
Mike the Icyian
Yeah,
Spider.
Mike the
It's
Icyian
only for
Spider.
10 minutes.
It's totally something that you would see on Adult Swim. I mean, so for this specific thing was just supposed to be family fun. The normal
Yeah.
show is I would definitely go for a TV-14 rating, especially with the more recent episodes that I've written and how intense it gets.
Yeah, no, for sure. That I always kind of wondered that because I remember when you sent me
Yeah.
the script and everything. I remember kind of reading it and I was like, oh yeah, this is like it's interesting and I liked the characters. It just was a lot of sci-fi. Kind of reminded me a
Yeah.
lot of, like I said, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, all that stuff. I'm not as familiar with that stuff as you are, but I always remember like always having that in the back of my head and wondering like, who is the target audience that we're going for? Because I feel like the target audience is a wide range of people. Like we have some middle-aged people, we have some younger
Yeah.
people. Like there's a variety. So
Definitely TV-14 would be the direct target audience, which is I think the biggest population of people. This is so loud. All right, so I think the amount of money that I spent getting the license for this song, I think is more money than I've spent on anything in my entire life.
even more in your rent right now in your apartment.
No, okay, that's not true. But it was definitely very expensive, and I know all the actors get a small stipend from Spider Queen, and it was definitely more than what all of the actors made combined. It
Wow.
was expensive. It was expensive.
That's not fair.
Hey, I don't get paid for it, so it makes you feel
I know.
good. Nice
I love
opening
it.
credits.
Really comforting. I'm hearing a gong play too.
A gong.
You may have
I heard there was a
the
gong.
story about Santa and his
All right, so from this point on, it's
But did
just
you know Santa
audio
didn't
only.
have magical reindeer?
Because I spent the whole budget
He
on.
has
the
magical
song.
spiders. No, I'm
Brooks,
not making
is that
up.
background picture from
Anyway.
CCS?
Santa
No,
would
that's
have
from
his
my
spiders
house.
pull his sleigh around
Oh,
on Christmas.
I thought that was
Oh,
like-
oh, no.
From
You
house
mean
to
where
house.
Mycen is standing?
And if you were lucky,
Yeah.
you could hear
Yes,
him
it is.
calling out to the spiders.
I
On
knew
Dasher
it.
and Dancer
It's from
and
the other
Prancer
hill.
and
It's from the
Vixen.
other hill.
Comet and
He already
Cupid
blew
and
too much money on the
Donner
beginning,
and
so he was like,
Blitzen.
I can't afford another backdrop. I gotta add
Rudolph?
Steven and
No,
Texas.
no.
Hey, can I take a
That's
photo of your
a
property?
different story.
Yeah, I probably took
This
it up.
is okay. Now,
Oh, great.
our
Crap, we're
story
screwed.
begins with our sleigh-pulling spiders getting ready for their upcoming
All right,
journey.
it gets so much better. I think. Let me turn it okay.
I don't know if my old body can
Here
take
you,
another
here's you.
Christmas Eve. I mean, come on, making us work one night a year, it's not fair.
Thunder,
Remember that?
why do you have to complain about everything? Why can't you just embrace the
Ian with
Christmas
the
spirit?
Russian.
All
Am I
right,
supposed to be
everyone,
William
settle
Francis
down.
then?
We're
I
one
think
day
that's what
away
you were
from
going
Christmas.
for.
So, tonight is the
Oh,
big
God.
night.
Oh, joy.
We
Yeah.
are aware that some of you are
That's
starting to
really
get old
advanced
and ready
then.
for retirement. So, we are welcoming a few new faces to the team this year. These two here will be training to be sleigh pullers, just like you. I'd like you to meet Zenthia and Mycen.
Hello, everyone. She's so cute, Vixen.
It
Okay,
will
me
be
putting
nice
two
to have another
Isabella-
girl around here,
that you?
Prancer.
Oh,
Is that
my
you?
My name's Mycen.
Pause it.
Was
Pause
that you?
Was that me? Go back.
Why is he?
Why are you in your
Hold on,
human
hold on,
form?
hold on, hold on.
Here. These two here will be
Alright.
training to be sleigh pullers, just like you. I'd like you to meet Zenthia and Mycen.
Hello, everyone. She's so
That's on it.
cute, Vixen.
It will be nice to have another girl around here, Prancer.
Is that you?
That is me.
Or is that Ian? That's you?
No, that's me. I know that's me because I can do that voice. Where
That's totally you.
let's have another girl around here, Prancer. I don't know. You cast me as a girl in this?
I think you did it yourself.
I probably did. Knowing
I
me,
didn't cast any of the reindeer. You guys just sort of did it on your own.
I probably thought I was like, I'm gonna sound like fully like a female in this, and like no one will even hear like a smidge of like any male voice or any male accent in this. And I once again I was very wrong about that.
Hey, it doesn't sound as bad as in the last one where we did like the pitch shift for Spider Queen. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. You when you I remember in the older we were talking about this when we did that the older episode for that Christmas special for Spider Queen. I remember you had your voice.
Yeah.
So I pitched, and I think you were, I don't know what character you were playing, but you go like, Mike.
Yes.
And it reminds me, and I'm not going to say names, obviously, we need to protect people's interests, but it sounded like a camper that we had. when we were kids.
I was gonna say it also kind of sounded like a teacher that we had.
Oh my God, we're gonna leave it up to anyone. You have to send this to people who worked at CCS who also at USM Theater Senate and be like, who does it sound more like?
Who does it
One of the
sound more like?
instructors or one of our former campers?
Oh man. Oh,
The
but
polling begins now.
So I listened to that. I did that last week on the pod, and I was listening to it and I died laughing. I couldn't stop laughing at the pitch shift. It was like, it's so good of you to come for our Christmas
I know.
party.
It literally gets like when you go like Mike, it gets like the point where you sound like it's like a dog whistle. Like I'm pretty sure my dog started yelping when he heard that part.
Oh man, let's get back into it. That's so funny.
My name's Mycen.
Why is he?
Why are you in your human form, kid? You can't be a slave
It would have made
puller
more
in
sense
that
if I put
form.
budget into the actual
You
video.
aren't very bright, are you?
Maybe.
Well, I can't.
Don't listen to him. He just likes to
Here's
give
you.
people a hard time.
Oh,
The name's Dasher. Nice to meet you.
hello, Mr. Dasher.
All right, everyone. I'm off. Make sure
That
you
was just
show
me.
these two everything you know.
That was it. It was just
Yes, Captain Bakashi.
Bakashi.
I love that. I love your schooling.
I'm Blitzen,
No.
and I'm the
Or
head
Wednesday.
spider. Everyone, please properly introduce yourselves to our new members.
Dasher.
Dancer!
Prancer.
Vixen.
Comet.
Cupid.
Why can I
And
see
I'm Blitzen.
Ian doing that?
Nice
Nice to meet you.
But when they say
Our
dancer,
two new
just
sleigh pullers will be
Dancer!
joining us tonight and observing how we do
Yeah.
things. So, shall we begin our
Love him.
exercises?
I love
they
it.
are amazing.
We will first start by practicing how to fly.
Fly?
Yes, fly. You're probably thinking Spider can't fly. And you're right, we can't. We can only fly on Christmas when Santa gives us his magic. And since we only fly once a year, we always practice. It's just a refresher on how to fly.
Although for us who have been doing it for a long time, we usually pick it up pretty quickly.
So,
Wait, who's that?
That was
how
wrong.
exactly do we fly?
How
that
do
really
I
her?
word this?
Yeah.
Imagine you are
Wow.
expelling
Because Isabel also played Seer, the girl, the pink hair, the purple hair.
Yep.
They came in episode 5, so it's sort of like the same voice range.
the
Well,
Zod
no, I'm
from
just
your
saying.
feet.
Like I know that she doesn't
okay.
know the female voice, but
Yeah.
that one just didn't sound a whole lot like her. That was really
No,
cool.
don't actually
Yeah,
do
she
it.
did good.
Why did they do this to him?
There were a couple
Oh,
of
God.
voice parts in this that
Oh,
I
What a
was
moron.
struggled to figure out.
He's supposed to be our replacement? Great. I'm never gonna retire.
So how are we supposed to do it?
There is
That's
really
something
nothing that
Squidward
you
would
have
say,
to
Miss
do.
William.
Santa's magic
Yeah.
is already affecting you. Just jump off the ledge and up you go. Watch.
So you got to use a lot of imagination when you listen
Okay.
to this,
Let
Oh
me
yeah.
try.
because it's not like a normal episode.
I did it!
Freaking audio
I'm really
drama.
doing it!
Why is that so? Wait, pause that.
Ooh,
Go back to where she says, "I did it."
Oh God, I think
Just the note.
I did it! I'm really doing it!
You know what that sounds like?
what?
Do you remember
Ooh, ooh.
THX?
My turn.
It does kind of sound like THX.
Intro to THX. I did it.
Wait, no, you have to be in your spider
And it would
form.
be so loud. Or why did I put Mycen the Icyian spider in the wrong way? Mycen-
Icyian Spider Knight.
Get a load of this guy.
I'm just noticing this.
We're
Yeah,
doomed.
I just noticed it too. Oh, here's like the little halfway point. Done. Surprisingly, I didn't have to pay royalties for this song. It was in the public domain.
Oh yeah, I think the Nutcracker is public domain.
Nutcracker is public domain.
You see, Mycen was
Oh, here's
unlike
the
the other
narrator again.
Spiderians. He couldn't transform into a spider. Why is that, you
There's
ask?
one scene I do in this
Well,
where I voice these
Mycen
characters
wasn't
once,
actually
and I
Spiderian.
was listening to
So
the
no
video,
matter
like,
how
why
hard he
keep up?
tried, he couldn't
Really good.
transform into a spider and fly. The only one who knew Mycen wasn't a spider was Spider Santa himself. The other spiders would make fun of Mycen for not being able to fly. What? Oh, you want to know why Santa would
So
send
this
Mycen
was
to sleigh pulling?
I was supposed to, for all these little narrator bits, it was supposed to then go back
Yeah.
to the green screen. But it was getting really difficult to schedule time in this. Did you ever go to the film studio at USM on the Portland campus?
On the Portland campus. No, I never went there. And I think because when I first showed up there, I know that they were redoing some of it, like my freshman year, I remember. Because I didn't really get to see a whole lot. And then sophomore year, obviously COVID hit, and then junior year, none of that happened. And then senior year, I didn't really have a reason to go there. But I remember like saying like or overhearing that it had kind of changed over time.
It's really nice. It's really, really
Yeah.
nice. It was just getting hard to schedule time, and I was spending hours at a time in the computer lab just trying to export stuff. Like that little 30-second piece at the beginning took me 9 hours to export on the computer at the lab, and it came out horrible. And the rendering was awful.
School
Was
if
this
he
after or
wasn't a
before
spider?
she kills monsters?
Well,
It would have
you're
been
about
during.
to find out.
Oh. It must have been a lot of work then.
Why?
Oh my gosh.
Why can't I do what the other spiders do? It's not fair.
This is one of the rare scenes that I mastered the reverb in.
Huh? Who's there?
It's me, Dasher.
Hey, it's you.
So did you
Wow.
come here to make fun of me too?
You sound really
No.
good.
I just wanted to
Your
come and
audio
tell
is
you to
so
never
good.
give up.
Huh?
Your time will come. I'm sure of it. And don't listen to what the others have to say.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Thanks, Dasher. Good luck tonight.
So you and Icyian, I meant to bring this up earlier, are sort of hold the weight of the exposition of this show on your shoulders between the two of you. I don't know which, Bakashi a little bit, but the two of you do most of the exposition, which is like the worst stuff to say. And you do
It's great because I've noticed that too, that like whenever like I have to talk a spider hermit, I'm always looking at probably about like a couple paragraphs of lines that I have to say.
Oh yeah. You
And
should
then we
see
end
it.
up, yeah, and you'll always be like, yeah, let's try that like maybe one or two times. And for me,
They're like that
I
more
am,
times.
I am my toughest critic where I'll go like, no, I need to do that again. I need to do that again. And we'll probably do those takes probably about like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you should have seen what I wrote recently. Anyway, yeah, you and Icyian
Oh,
do like
great.
crux of the exposition, which is like the worst thing to do in any production at all. No actor enjoys delivering exposition, but you guys are champions at it because it needs to get said.
Ian Ashland and I, we are exposition royalty.
Yes, you are. I think I recorded this sound effect in the Hannaford parking lot in Sakoman.
We've been looking for you, Dasher.
What were you doing in Mycen's cave?
Just stopping by to make fun of him, I bet. I wish I thought of visiting him at home.
No.
Don't tell me that you have a soft spot for that loser.
What do you want?
Oh, right.
What do
Santa
you
has called an
want?
emergency
Leave me
meeting.
alone.
Come on.
An emergency?
Yeah, this is the sound effect I recorded.
Did they say
That sounds like you're just
emergency?
punching a plastic bag.
It does, but I was just trudging through the snow.
Do they not shovel the driveways at the Hannaford parking lots?
Well, you know they put those like they plow them and make those big like snow mounds.
So were you just walking up and
I was
down
just
these
walking up and
mounds?
down a snow mound. Oh my gosh.
People next door over at McDonald's. 911, what's your emergency? Yeah, I got a guy over here running up and down the snowbank with his phone right now. He keeps screaming that he can't get the take right.
That doesn't sound right. Ho, ho, ho! There we go!
Santa, what's wrong?
My Santa voice gets
Just take a look
better halfway in the
outside.
episode.
It looks normal to me.
It's not snowing.
Correct! So, Mrs. Claus and I have decided to cancel Christmas. Wait, what?
Whoa. Finally a night off.
Because
Oh
the
my God.
magic
Alright.
Isabella came up with that on the spot. Finally.
Isabella giving him a mic drop right there.
Finally a night off. It was so
And there's always that one person. There's always that one person.
yeah, there's always that one person, you work once a week or something. Oh, you finally night off.
that gives.
Inogene.
Oh, fine. The magic that gives you the power to fly manifests from the snow. Without snow, you can't fly.
You're supposed to
This
be
is
Mrs. Claus.
horrible. What about all those children who are counting on us?
If only there was some way we could make it snow.
I'm so sorry, my children. Please, stay on standby.
Most overused sound effect in all of the show. This one right here. The
I
rain.
thought they would never leave.
Inogene, stay in character.
Fine. What about that boy? Couldn't he make it snow?
It's too dangerous. His power is unstable. Besides, Mycen doesn't know how to use his power. But I suppose there is no other choice. I will go to him at once.
Do we get to see him as Mrs. Claus?
May I come in?
Wait, really?
Santa, is that you?
Oh, I think I do a really good
Say,
job in
why
this
do
scene.
you look so melancholy?
Well, I
need your help on the sleigh tonight.
Melancholy.
Me?
I love that word.
But
I don't
what
know
can
why.
I do?
Bring back
I can't
melancholy,
fly.
I don't
Seriously.
need you to fly.
I don't need you to
I
fly.
need you to make it snow.
Make it snow? How am I
Well, here we
supposed
go.
to do that?
The build-up to
Let
climax.
me tell you something, my boy. You are not Spiderian.
You know there's a climax
You
happening when you hear
are
Carol
an
of the Bells
Icyian.
drum.
Yes, you do.
What?
And I can't
An
believe I
Icyian.
found this in the
And
public
they
domain.
wield ice magic.
Oh,
What
yeah.
do you say? Will you do it?
I don't really know what's going on. I don't even know how to use ice magic. How am I supposed to make it snow?
We still have a few hours before we have to leave. Bakashi here will... You called, sir? Bakashi here is going to help train you how to use ice magic.
He is?
I am?
I love that. He is. I am.
You,
I
you know what I've
believe
noticed, Brooks,
in
is
you.
that some of this, like, that I remember that I had to make sure I had to differentiate the voices was your Bakashi and my Spider Hermit
They're very
both have
similar.
that really raspy voice.
Yeah.
But, like, I've noticed that the one thing that I had to change with mine is that correct me if I'm wrong, you seem to push out a lot more with your diaphragm
I do.
as
It
Bakashi.
hurts. I do.
You must get, like, really great abs, though, from doing that.
Yes. It reminds me of when we did She Kills Monsters and we would do like the real life scenes and our characters sounded so similar.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
you were like
Well,
trying to date my sister, so and I was wearing like the weird like cropped shirt and like. Ugh.
yeah. Oh my God. You know, it's funny because I don't really remember doing that play.
It was that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a story for another day,
It's
kids.
a story for another day. That's the juicy details people want from the pod. Anyway, let's.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
what this is what TMZ
Now
got
I'm
hold
off
of.
to tell everyone else Christmas is still on.
Still on. I think I did a good job changing my voice in that scene. Oh, here we go. Here's Mrs. Claus as Spider Dog, or Spider Dog is Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Oh, I could have.
Oh God.
Something about Corsic Spider King being Santa and staring deadpan like that.
The fact that they're slowly coming together. Like, when are they gonna meet? Are they gonna meet? Are they gonna touch? Oh.
It's like the DVD thing. Boom.
I feel like what you see in a Game Boy, like when you're playing like Pokemon or
And
something.
so,
the character
Mycen
pop up.
began training hard with Bakashi in order to learn how to make it snow. Meanwhile, Spider Santa told the rest of the spiders. Now 4 hours have passed, and finally time for Santa to set off.
It's just about time to leave. Where are they?
I
That's a
knew
good
it.
voice.
There was no way that moronic kid could learn how to
I like
use
this
ice
character
magic
for
and
you. I wish
save
we could bring this
Chris.
back.
You were slaying?
Yeah.
It's snowing.
You
I
were
can't believe I did that.
Ho ho ho! You did it, Mycen.
He can only make it snow over a small area, though. So he will have to stay in the sleigh with you, Spider Santa.
Whatever it takes to save Christmas. Climb aboard, Mycen.
Yes, sir, Spider Santa.
Wow, good
That's all,
job.
Spider Santa.
Christmas.
You go,
Right
Mycen.
there.
Because of you.
I knew
I'd
you
never
could do
celebrate
it, kid.
Christmas again.
Show off.
All right, then. It's time for takeoff. Hurrah!
The whip.
Ooh.
Very crisp.
One dasher
Remember?
and dancer
Hey,
and
Will, do you have a
Prancer
whip?
and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donder and Blitzen and Spider
No,
Queen
but Spider Santa's
and
got a
Mycen.
whip.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
And
this is the
so,
money.
because of Mycen,
is where all the
Spider
money
Santa
is
was
spent.
able to travel the entire world that Christmas Eve. Now Mycen rides with Spider Santa every Christmas. And
That's the story of the night before Christmas.
No, it is not, Mycen. Seriously, where are you getting these stories from? I
Really?
think this one was worse than the one you told last year. And that one was pretty bad.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, what are you complaining about? At least you weren't Mrs. Claus.
That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah? I'll give you something to laugh about. Now hear my story. Ahem. Once upon a...
All right, we'll cut it there because I don't want to have to pay for the license to use this song again.
My gosh.
We'll skip through the.
Yeah, that's
I
right. You
remember-
show up again.
Do we come back? Oh yeah, we do. Is this?
Spider Doc
Oh wait, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Like in the
Jingle. Jingle bells, Spider Doc smells because she laid an egg. Spider Queen is mad at smell being such a doofus.
More sense. Just take me out of the song.
Actually, Spiderians don't lay eggs.
What?
Yeah, Spiderians reproduce by...
Wait,
No!
I don't get it.
I'll explain it when you're older.
Make sure you stay tuned in 2022 for more episodes of Spider Queen, where you can catch a bunch of new characters in action, like me, Spider Hermit. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
At the end of that, we should have put you going, oh, Joy, again.
Oh, joy. Another character. Great.
I love that. It's so funny.
I really don't remember doing that voice. I mean, I obviously I did it because you can hear it, and I know that's me. But I totally forgot that I did that voice. That's so weird.
Yeah. So what I was saying last time is I think that this one, I think, has more of a story to it than the other one did. But the other one also had a good entertainment factor to it.
Yeah.
They both had entertainment factors. So this is definitely a lot more lighthearted and family friendly than we usually do with the normal show.
Yeah, and I've noticed that it's kind of weird because like I mean, just listening to this again, excuse me, I thought to myself like it's not really the normal approach that Brooks goes about with like the projects and the episodes now. I mean, not to say like I haven't recorded with you in about a little. Actually, no, I recorded with you in November, didn't I?
No, this November? No, we didn't.
Last year.
November.
It might have been like an episode or so.
Oh, you know what? We did. I think we did. And I think the script changed.
Also, that's why he's been asking me to do some more recording recently because stuff has changed.
Maybe it did. I can't remember.
But no, but I remember like whenever I was reading like the new lines and stuff, I just remember thinking that it like from what I remember last was that it's a lot different from this Christmas special. Obviously, it's Christmas. You want to make it family friendly, if you can.
But also, you look at Christmas stories, and a lot of them are really dark.
Yeah,
Like a lot of them go to a really dark place before it ends, and then at the end, it's like, yay! But
well, you know what I just figured out? I was watching the Polar Express like a couple weeks ago, and I was watching with one of my friends here, and when her and I were watching the movie, there was something that we completely forgot about.
When the train drifts across the frozen lake.
What?
When the train drifts across the frozen lake.
Okay, that is so fun. I love that. No, it's you remember like when he sees Santa Claus and all of a sudden he picks up the bell and he starts ringing it.
Yeah.
And he can't hear anything and you think it's just wind. The bell is actually speaking to him because she always has to watch a movie with subtitles. And I don't really watch movies with subtitles, but when we had the subtitles on, whenever he rings the bell, it literally sang downer, 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 downer.
Really?
I was like, that is so freaking dark and just like eerie. It's creepy.
That is really creepy.
But now I can see because there are a lot of people that don't like the Polar Express, like because they do think it kind of like creeps them out, which I guess I can understand. But I've always loved it. Probably explains why I am the way I am today. But just something like that. But listening to that though, like that bit, just at that point, like I was like, that is just like really dark, and like especially like for a kid to hear that, it's like it's just kind of creepy. So yeah, some of them do kind of take off with some like dark undertones.
Yeah, they really do. And with the actual show and when I did it and I was writing it, because I'm done with writing it now. Well, there's like 5 episodes that I got to write left, but then I'm like done with the whole show. And what I was being really careful with, especially in the first like 10, 20 episodes, I was being really gradual about the intensity and the darkness. That not that it's like dark show, but like the maturity, I guess, is a better word for it.
Yeah.
Like, and how intense it gets. So to sort of start slower, then gradually go up, because at the beginning they are kids, and then it sort of goes up, and it gets a lot darker and a lot more intense. Even in the newer stuff that you had recorded the last time before you left, would have been started to get a little bit more dark. But then there are also a lot of just fun, silly stuff in between. You know, just the.
Well, I think that's something that like we both can. I mean, it's something that we both can kind of like acknowledge. I mean, I think anybody can really acknowledge this is that like through time, your stuff is only going to improve and progress. And I mean,
Oh
looking
yeah.
back, you might not be like, oh, I hated this, but like you're gonna look back on stuff, you're gonna go, yeah, I was a lot different back then, with my craft and with what I was doing, and there's a lot of change. And obviously now, like listening to this, like what we just listened to, yeah, it's good, it's fun. But I think even now, looking at like what you've created recently, like even what you did for your capstone project
Oh
for
yeah.
like that, I was blown away. Like I just thought that
I
was so freaking
loved what I
cool.
did for the capstone
The fight
project.
scene with you and it's just like watching that, I was like, dude, this is. And I
It
literally
was
remember, I
so
remember
good.
I sent it to a bunch of people, um, who are like into that stuff, like anime or whatever,
Yeah.
and I told them, I was like, you got to see this. I'm like, this is actually like this is really really cool. Not to say the stuff you haven't done before is cool, but I was like, it just went to show you that like,
How
you
much it
know,
improves.
yeah, how much you improve the more you stick to it. Like, I
So I don't
mean,
know if I
yeah,
had sent it to you, but maybe half a year ago or so, I took all of the episodes that we had made and I put it together into one like 2 hour long video. And
I don't know.
I don't know if I sent it to you, but it was cool because you could see, because it was like 2 years that it took us to do all 8 of those episodes, and you could see the
Mm.
progression from the first one to the last one. And I had thought about going in, and then the first 3 episodes are not in 1080p. The first episode does not have any mouths that are open, and I was like, I can go back and I can edit them all for this, or I can't, or I won't, and then you can see the progression. And I ended up doing that, and then you could see the progression from it going to like old before TV went to HD to full 1080p to then being where in the beginning of my time editing the episodes, I was editing it from an audio standpoint and not a film standpoint. And
Yeah.
then one of my friends said, "Hey, think about the shots." And I used to do a lot of film in high school. And then like episode 6, 7, and 8, I really focused on setting up the shots. And I started thinking about it in a production standpoint in total, like in a whole. So you could see the progression of it going forward and what will go forward and what the plans are.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I look at that same thing. Like, I look at that too with like past projects that I've done, even like plays or like even like short films that I did
Oh
before.
yeah.
There's some stuff that I look at that I'm like I wouldn't do that now. But then looking at stuff that I've done today, and you compare and contrast, and you always like there's always room for improvement, and you're always gonna grow and learn more. And
I mean, look at even just in a matter of a year. Look at from She Kills Monsters to Clue. We did 2 plays. She Kills Monsters. We did in the fall, and then in the spring we did another play. We did Clue. We did this together, and
yep,
just the drastic change. I mean, when we did She Kills Monsters, it was the pandemic. We were wearing masks. There was a lot of factors going against it.
there was a lot of definitely like a lot of frustration and stress doing that show because of that, and
Hmm.
feeling like we were kind of being held back from what we wanted to do.
Yes, and
Yeah,
then we go
absolutely.
into Clue, and Clue was just, there are
Oh,
very few, very very few productions that I would ever say I would in a heartbeat drop everything I'm doing and go back with that same cast of people and do
oh,
that play all over again. But
dude.
Clue is one of those plays that I would do the rest of my life with the
Mhm.
same cast of people.
I've literally told people, I said Clue would be the show. Like, I'd go right back to no questions asked. I still think about it like to this day. Like sometimes if I'm thinking about theater and
Mhm.
when I'm on my day off, I should be thinking about something else besides work. Obviously, look where we are now, Brooks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
look where we are.
Um, um, you're doing what my therapist told me not to do. Not
Work
actually.
life balance? What's that? You're an actor.
Yeah, literally, there is no break ever. Um, but no, like I remember when we did Clue, I remember like maybe like after our first like in-person rehearsal that we did, because I remember the first two we had read-throughs, but they were over Zoom because
Donuts
not
and
me.
coffee and read through. Yeah.
Yeah, no one could, not everyone was on the same time schedule, so everyone had to kind of be away. But after that first like in-person rehearsal, I was like, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good.
It was
And
so fun.
it was magical. Like, I mean, but we had like such a great group of actors who like everyone was funny in their own way, and everyone like brought the character to life. Like you were really good. Like you were really good with just your facial expressions as
I had a
Plum.
lot of bits. Like I had like a whole C storyline with Ryan as Mr. Green. Like you have like the story A, the story B that's always in every script, and then you had like the C story, which was me and Ryan doing our thing, and then you and Max and had your own little C story, and me and
I just
Alyssa had our own
Yeah,
little C story, and
and those were funny. But I think my favorite ones were everybody just like sharing the stage together, like the
oh my
dinner
god, that's the
scene.
the best part of theater is the chemistry when you're together on stage.
And
Absolutely.
it's so much fun. It's so much fun. But
The
yeah,
dinner scene. We had those rolls. Remember we had those like really those rolls, and we'd have to eat them. And I remember I'd always just like I would get so into the dinner scene that like I'm in it and I'm eating the dinner and I'm responding, and I'd always forget that I had a line, and I'd have like the roll like right here in my throat, and I'd be like, well, I think that this,
I remember doing that scene, and whenever we did it, I remember like I wouldn't eat a whole lot before the show. 'Cause I'm like, I'm gonna have dinner rolls. I'll be okay. I'll
Yeah,
keep
you
it for
like
the night.
stuff your face with the dinner rolls.
So I did. I had one, and I remember like Max. She played Scarlet, and I guess she didn't really eat hers. Like I don't know if that was part of her character or if she knew I was gonna take hers. Anyway, thanks for letting me eat your dinner rolls. But I remember then I'd take hers and I'd stuff it in my face, and I'd wait for that next line where I'd be like, "Oh, I have a sister who's a gymnast," and I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
always let it fall out. I never intended to, but that's just how it was. Because like once I realized my face was stuff, I'm like I have to say my line, and it ended up just like crumbs that get stuck in my beard or whatever. It was funny.
I think I
So yeah.
remember my favorite line in the show was the little C, one of the little C, one of my little C story. I had a C story with like every character. You and I had like our own little like, oh, we're criminal
You and I actually
sisters.
didn't have as much as we did with others.
Not as much, but we had some fun moments like that
Oh yeah,
scene
yeah,
with
yeah.
like where we were like together on the chair and I had the pipe. But there was this
The
one
moment right
scene
there.
where Alyssa and I were in the library. It was like during one of those like everyone was running around the stage.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, perhaps we'll get excited by something in the bedroom.
Bedroom.
And then Alyssa walks off and I'm still in the library, and then she sort of like gives me the finger and I'm like, ooh. And I thought it was so funny. And then no one in the audience ever laughed at it.
Well, yeah, but no, but then she said something after that. She's like, I haven't been excited by something in a bedroom in
Yeah,
years.
yeah, something like that. Yeah. But
She was perfect for that role too. And that was
for,
funny because I had never gotten like Alyssa and I had been friends ever since we met freshman year. Like me, her, and Abe were like the only people in theater workshop at the time who were freshmen, and Devin Glassick too. And I remember I never got to act with her at all, ever. Didn't also get never got to act with Abe, which was really sad. But with Alyssa particularly, because I know she didn't do musicals prior to the
yeah.
others. So when her and I finally got to do Clue together, I was just like I was ecstatic because I was like, yes, I finally get to work with Alyssa Pearl Ross.
So and for me, when I do theater, for me the story and the acting is between the lines. It's not in the lines. I feel like what makes it fun and what shows a good story is when the actors are make it their own in between the lines. The lines are just there as like the the points to get you there, like the rules
Yeah.
to get you there. But everything else, I feel like it's in the characters. The show exists within like between the lines, which
Yeah,
I
and
think
it
is
was,
so.
and I think that's one show that like I'd have no problem going back and like telling people like I mean not to say like oh Clue is a very educational theatrical piece that you can show your students but no but there is a lot to learn from that show just not like us but I'm just talking about like the structure of the show.
The structure. Oh,
Um,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
and
Well, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
but I could keep going on but
We could keep going on. I say that we do this again another time, maybe without the cameras, without the mics, little drinky poos, you know.
perhaps we'll
Um,
find something exciting in the bedroom.
perhaps. Well, August, I love you, man. I wish you all the success in the world.
I love you too, man. When I come back in February, hopefully, maybe you'll be back. Maybe we can
Yeah,
meet up then and do what we need to do.
yeah,
Obviously,
absolutely. Well, everybody, thank you for watching our podcast today, and stay tuned for next week for some more exciting stuff. All right,
absolutely.
peace and love, guys. Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.
That was quite lovely. What a very nice conversation that we had with August. We're so lucky we were able to have him on the podcast. August, thank you. I could talk to him for hours. Just what a beautiful, beautiful human being. And I wish him all the best and all the success. And I am looking forward to continuing working with him on Spider Queen, the series. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of the pod. And as always, we will see you next week. And next week, we're going to be in a new location, maybe, and perhaps with even more people that I love and care about. Just, we are so, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the things to come. All of you, take care. Thank you for watching and have an excellent weekend.